All right, we are live. Happy Friday, everybody. We'll give it a few moments, everybody to join. Hello, Summit Raj. What's good, brother? Tap that like button. Subscribe to the channel. How you doing, man? Happy Friday. Sadie Gilbert, what's happening? How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. How are you, Oli Smith? Welcome to the live, my friend. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. How's everybody feeling? Whoa. No. Ugh. It's breathe. It stands for breathe. It stands for breathe, my friend. It stands for breathe. Welcome everybody to the live. How y'all doing, man? Happy Friday. How is everybody? How's everybody feeling? We're going to get into a good topic, but we're going to give it a few moments more for people to join so we don't, have to keep repeating ourselves. I'm Daren. Nice to meet you, Mello. Tap the like button, everybody. Thank you for joining. He is ready for showtime. Ready for showtime. Hey, Matthew, what's happening, brother? Welcome to the live, my friend. Happy Friday, man. Hope you're having a great day today, or hope your day is off to a great start. We got an interesting topic today. I'm going to go in detail about because I had a channeled message this morning from the divine. I channeled, and I haven't channeled the divine in a while. And if you're not sure or you don't know who it is, go back and watch. There's tons of channel messages on the channel. They are a group of higher dimensional beings that have been observing humanity for thousands of years. Christian, love you too, brother. The messages, I haven't posted today's message yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet with the video, if it's going to go in our membership platform or if it's going to go on social media. I'll have to tune in with that, but there's tons of other ones on there. Tons. Raymond, what's good, brother? So So yeah, there are a group of higher dimensional beings that have been observing humanity for thousands of years, and they say this all the time, and they bring through a lot of activations and codes. You know, as I said, there's tons of messages from them, which it doesn't matter whether you listen to one from like 6 months ago or today, they're all relevant because there's no time and space. So you love the topics? Cool, man. Well, let me tell you, this one is going to be a humdinger. I don't even know what that means, but okay. This is going to be, you know, it may trigger some people, you know what I mean? That's okay. I'm kind of giving it a few moments for people to join because I don't want to start it and then, you know, everyone starts joining, and I'm feeling still quite tired and exhausted. I'm not going to lie. I could probably sleep another 10 hours. And yet, accepting what is, you know, I'm realizing that, well, I guess you could say I had an aha moment this morning that, in the way that God is good, man. I completely and wholeheartedly agree with you, Wes. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again and again and again, that we're beginning to be. Okay, let me break it down a little bit. Let me just break it a little bit down. Because when we move in a way that, okay, so the last few years, let me backtrack a little bit from the last few years. For me, I've had so many things happen physically, mentally, spiritually, and like I said, I haven't talked about some of the things because, well, a lot of you would probably say TMI, too much information. But I'm going to tell you what, man, I've definitely gone through it, and I've had to trust that there's a higher power. I had to trust that I didn't run to some medical facility. I just trusted. And I had many different lessons that I had to learn in trusting and surrendering. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had to surrender to what is. And I'm like, okay, like right now I feel when I go for a walk, it's like challenging to walk, like meaning like it's exhausting. I feel very tired, and yet I have to trust and not and see right away our ego and our mind connects with something in the body. We have a feeling in the body or a sensation that we don't like, and then the mind goes right to, oh, something's wrong. Oh, you've got to get it checked out. You're tired and exhausted. That's not normal. You know, like these different things that we right away the mind starts going places, and that's the ego wanting to figure it out, needing to have an answer, needing to understand it. And what that does is separates us from God. Because when you allow God to come inside you, to work through you, you got to let go of all the control, man. You got to release control. You have to surrender. It takes a lot of surrendering, man. And you think that by you surrendering to God and being obedient and allowing God to lead you, that it's going to be easy, that you're going to get this roadmap that's going to show you every step of the way, but yet the ego wants a roadmap. The ego I can't tell you how many times this year I said to Luna, I just want a roadmap. I just want to understand this. I just want to know what's next. God doesn't work in that way, man. It's like all I've been shown is a bridge, and the bridge is covered with thick, dense fog, and you can't see on the other side. You can't even see 1 foot in front of you. And it's almost like I had to, God's holding my hand as I'm walking across the bridge, but fully surrendering to that, fully trusting. And if you go back to older videos that I've talked about for the past year, I've talked about it's going to get more challenging and difficult, that we're going to be tested in so many ways, that our faith tested in a way that we're not going to know the outcome. And the ego, yes, wants an outcome, wants to understand it. So what do? We get into the control mode. We try to control our reality. We try to control and manipulate everybody around us for it to go in our favor, for it to work so that we can understand it better. God doesn't work that way, man. And I've tried to explain it to people around me that I'm following the energy. And while you're going through these tests where you're reconnecting and developing this relationship with God, you're going to fall, you're going to fail, you're going to get back up, and you're going to have to try again and again, and you're going to get frustrated and you're going to get annoyed, and that's just part of the process. That's part of the process of that reconnection to God that we've been disconnected from through this matrix that we're in, through the fear and the control that they've wanted to have over us. Because when we're in fear and we're in these lower vibrations, we're easily controlled. So it's like we have to keep trusting. It's that old saying, like they said, like has been said, let Jesus take the wheel. Let God take the wheel. Let God steer your vessel. Let God steer the bus. Trust in what's happening. Trust the process. Trust what's unfolding. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen in the time that you think it's going to happen. That's expectations. God doesn't work in that way. That's, again, the ego wanting a roadmap, wanting to understand it. It's taken me so long to understand this teaching and to actually fully surrender. And not only fully surrender, but be obedient, because I'm not one to follow someone telling me what to do. I'm not one to, I don't like being told what to do. I don't like, and so you know how many times my ego had to die and, and like actually listen. And again, the more we try to incorporate control, the more we separate ourselves from God. we distance ourselves from God. Like, I've got to figure this out. I've got to understand this. This has to make sense to me. Like, why do I feel the way I feel? This, I don't understand. And we go into these modes of like trying to understand this entire existence. We try to understand the human experience. We try to understand the soul's evolution. We try to understand why the things that have happened have happened. We continuously and constantly try to understand everything because we want to know everything. And yet, funny thing is, you have these truth seekers and people that are, seeking the truth, like myself, like myself. I'm not going to deny that that's something that I've wanted answers to my entire life. I've wanted to understand where God came from, how this all came about. And interestingly enough, the more we try to do that, the more we try to understand it, to make sense of it, the more we are distancing ourselves, the more disconnection we are having. And God is wanting humanity to come back home, to ourselves, which is the connection to source, which is the connection to God, which is that connection, that deep, deep connection, which when we have that, we have all the answers. We then have all the answers. And like I said, make no mistake about it, it's not easy. That path is not easy. Nor is like trying to control your every aspect of your reality through manipulation and like, I'm going to manipulate these people for my own gain, so that I can feel safe. It's a false sense of safety. There's nothing like having God work through you. There's nothing like having that energy around you, supporting you, guiding you, leading you every step of the way. There's nothing like it. That energy is so pure and so full of love. And, but yet people around you will not understand. Mark my words, they will not understand. You will tell them, well, I can't do that because, well, I'm being guided. It doesn't feel in alignment with me right now. And someone will say, well, why don't you just do that? Like, why haven't you done that? Why haven't you just done this thing? Because I haven't, because I don't feel guided to, I don't feel in alignment to do that. And it's like, again, there'll be moments where you'll do something, you'll take this action because you think that that's God leading you. And then you'll find out shortly enough that wasn't, that potentially was ego. And then you'll probably get frustrated and you'll probably get annoyed and angry, and that's okay. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the process. As you allow God to lead you every single step of the way. And so, so when I say, when I say that this is the way that we are moving forward, this is the way of humanity going forward. And that's exactly why the topic that I've put on this video, embodying God within us. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening. We're transforming, we're changing, we're shifting. We're realizing that what has been going on here is not for the greatest and highest good of all of humanity. And humanity is changing, whether we like it or not. We're having to let go. We're having to trust and surrender. Even knowing how difficult and challenging it is. And it will get more and more challenging as we go forward. As we go forward and we try to figure out, try to understand what's next. What am I to do next? Well, you go straight to God. You ask God. Again, this is, and I want to preface this, that this is not a religious channel. I'm not religious by any means, nor is Luna. And J-Tam, what's good? I'm doing fantastic. So as I said, we're needing to trust the process. We're needing to surrender. We're needing to throw up our hands and trust God is leading us and guiding us every single step of the way. As I said, this is not a religious channel by any means. Me and Luna are not religious or spiritual. And but having God in your life, connecting to God, I've read your talking about God. Do you believe in God? 100% I believe in God. Or a higher power, or the divine, or prime creator, not in a religious way. And that's what I'm trying to drive home, that what's happening is we're coming home to ourselves, embodying God within us, allowing God to use us. And when you Buddhism is great, man. As I said, man, I don't judge anybody or anything and why they choose what they choose, how they choose it. I think Buddhism is amazing. I'm just too weak to follow it completely. You're not too weak, Jade Tam. You're not too weak. You're strong as hell, just like all of us. You're courageous just choosing to be here on this planet right now during this massive shift. Well, that's good. Hey, man, you know what? Whatever helps you to connect to source, to God, that's all that matters. Because that's the way humanity is moving forward. We're beginning to realize that the other way is not working. We're realizing that the other way is not working any longer. And we're finding out that we cannot move forward with the ego running the show any longer, trying to control everything, trying to understand it all. Like, because it's funny, because a lot of these situations that we find ourselves in, we think that, oh, well, you know, that feels safe because I knew that I was supposed to go here and do this thing. And then this thing didn't work out the way I thought it would work out, right? So it's like, well, you felt safe because the ego led you there. And yet it didn't actually turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out, or the way you thought you could manipulate it in a way to turn out. But I'm going to tell you this, the more and more you try to control your outcomes and your situations and your experience, the farther away from God that you become. It's like God puts us through these different things, especially the chosen ones, especially the ones that are here to do big things. And mark my words, everybody's here to do big things. If you're here right now at this time, man, you're here to do a big thing. You came here to be a part of this massive evolutionary shift in human consciousness. You came to be here for it. So make no mistake about it, you have a big reason for being here. Every single one of us do. It just may not look like you on this massive grand stage, you know, like, and look the way you think it's supposed to look. When the greatest achievement is just being here, then anything else I've been doing is just pure amazing. Exactly. because I didn't choose to be, well, you did choose to be born. No, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, but from doing past life regressions and the connection I have with God, we all chose to be here on a soul level. That's just ego saying, I didn't choose to be here. Just like a lot of people say, well, this is going to be my last time on earth and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's just ego, because when you leave the body, the soul's like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to go back. I'm ready to go back. Let's do it again. Oh, hell yeah. JTAM, I talked about this on previous lives. You totally chose to be here. Like, a call went out, and I'll just, since you're here and I know you're new to the channel, recently new, you're not that new, but you're sort of new. What happened is there was a call that went out to the universe, and every soul, like you on another planet doing your thing. Maybe you were a higher dimensional being, a galactic being on some other planet, maybe in Lemuria or something of that sort. Or maybe you were on Atlantis, maybe Pleiadians, maybe, Orion, somewhere. It doesn't matter. That's besides the point. You heard the call went out, and every soul heard it and said, I'm ready. Let's go. Put me down, coach. I'm in. You didn't question anything. Your soul didn't question a thing other than, I'm ready to go. Like right now, put me down. You didn't be like, oh, what's going to happen? What is this like? Let me prepare for this. Your soul was already preparing it for thousands of years in many lifetimes. If you're here and you subscribed a while back, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, maybe, like, you found this channel for a reason, because you are an old soul. You are a chosen one. You are here to be a part of this massive shift. You wouldn't be here listening to this content if your frequency wasn't high enough to hear it. So just like all of us, we all chose to be here. Oh yeah, I mean, I went to their concert back in the day, man. I know exactly who they are. Metallica. I used to rock with Metallica when I used to listen to that heavy metal and stuff. Do you care more about that? Yeah, and not to mention, like, we're multi-dimensional beings, which we're all starting to find out and realize. We're waking up to that. So there is no past, present, or future. There's only right now. And you're living multiple lives at the same time, because the past is now. The past is the future. It's all one and the same. And it's hard to conceptualize with the mind, because, again, the ego wants to understand it all. Oh yeah, I know Ozzy Osbourne, of course. So it's like we're multi-dimensional beings. Okay, we've had many lives, every single one of us. Yeah. And it's very difficult for the ego to understand that. How is that possible? Then the ego starts going into questioning everything, trying to control it, trying to understand it, freaking out. Again, that disconnects us and separates us from that God connection, that connection to source. Again, they want us to, in fact, disconnect. Because when you're disconnected, you're easily controlled and you're in fear. And you lead with fear. And you try to understand and everything, and you're trying to make sense of it. And you're trying to manipulate your situation, your outcome, and everything else. So it's like, the more they can keep you disconnected, the more they can keep you separated, the more divide and separation is created, the more chaos and toxicity happens here. And, God doesn't just go work through just anybody, man. You have to go through tests and trials. trusting your faith with God. When they tell you there's tests, there's tests. Trust and believe. He's not going to just, he can't work through you if you don't have this clean vessel. If you're not a clear channel. If there is any doubt, because he knows every step you're going to take before you take it. So he knows your thoughts. He knows every step you're going to take. And this is exactly why Jesus, Yeshua, was sent down to earth. And I know a lot of people will have controversy around this because I heard somebody already say it, and I knew this deep down inside. Okay, and I know a lot of people will have contradiction to this, and I know I'm going to hear a lot of people maybe lashing out, maybe not, but it's okay. You're allowed your opinion here. But I heard somebody say it, and right when they said it, I said, "Yep, that's exactly how I saw it. That's exactly what I was told, that Jesus was God in human form." And I've said this before. He was an aspect of God. Okay? So part of God came and sent Jesus in to shift humanity, to shift the collective, and the collective took it in a different way. He was undercover as God. So God wasn't just going to come down here and be like, "Oh, I'm God," like blah, 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 like people wouldn't even have, it's just like people are having, I'm getting chills, man, because it's like people would even have difficulty with the possibility of extraterrestrials. Could you imagine if God just came down and said, "I'm God"? No one would believe it. So he came down and disguised himself. But everybody began to use him as a religious, idolized him because of the things that he was able to do. And we're all able to do those things when you have God work through you. When God works through you, you can levitate, you can walk on water, you can do all these things like Jesus did. He fully was open and ready, and God worked through him, and God came down and he was undercover to make the necessary changes that needed to be done here on earth at the time. And again, like I said, that goes against all religious things that have been taught, and rightfully so. It's there's a reason for it. Hey, Truth Wave, what's good, brother? How you doing, man? We're kind of having this deep conversation. A lot of people don't believe this, but I mean, especially like people that follow religion very heavily, they're not going to believe that Jesus was God in human form, an aspect of God. And I say an aspect of God because it wasn't it wasn't all of God in human form. It was an aspect of God. And he was undercover. You can walk on water. I agree. 1,000%. And it's like there's so many beliefs. Yeah, it was like, yeah, man, 100,000%, man. He came down here. This is like, because listen, like I said a few minutes ago before you came in, Truth Wave, it's like, do you think God would have just came down and been like, "Yeah, I'm God, everybody"? Just like people are having difficulty with extraterrestrials being here with us and coming physically standing next to you. Imagine if God was standing next to you, literally. Okay? So what did he do? He sent an aspect of him down as Jesus, Yeshua, to shift everything, to open humanity's hearts. And what did humanity do? They started idolizing him. They put him on a pedestal because he could walk on water. He could change water to wine. It was like he was able to do these things that we all can do when we embody God consciousness, when we embody God within us, when we allow God to work through us. So he came down and what was done? Humanity put him on a pedestal. Humanity made him this religious connotation when he came here to do the work of God. He was God in human form, but undercover, because nobody would have believed it. So he just came down and he showed all these tricks that he could do, and all these things was done because it was like, well, maybe humanity will believe me, and then everything was, we idolized it, and everyone to this day still does through religion. And so, that wasn't his purpose, and why he came here. He came here to wake people up, to open their hearts, to shift humanity, to get humanity to essentially reconnect back to God. And you could honestly say, like, the Son of God, that's really what he was, the Son of God. But as I said, he was God. But obviously, if he's the Son of God, he's part of God. He's God in human form. And like I say, an aspect of God, but in undercover, so that he could do the things he came here to do, because he wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. So he was undercover. Hopefully you guys are vibing, or you guys are understanding with what I'm laying down. Interesting, though, what you said. God cannot be limited. Of course, most definitely not. There's no limits. When you allow God to work through you, when you allow God to come through you, there's no limits, man. Anything is possible. Walk on water, fly. I mean, these are just things, that, like, there's no limits to what God can do. And that's the thing that the ego has difficulty letting go of. Because again, like I said, the ego is usually standing in the way of allowing God to work through you. And that's why we hinder ourselves from healing and from all these different things because we immediately go into survival and control. Oh, we're told that we have something going on physically. Oh, right away we go into control. We try to control it. We try to manipulate and control the outcome. I have to get healed in this way. It has to happen right now. And what does that do? That separates you from God. That hinders you from those magical healings. Yeah, that's why I said tricky Ricky. That's why I said of an aspect of God. Exactly. An aspect of God. Yeah, but see, that's the whole thing, J-Tam. Let go. Listen, it's not going to happen overnight. A lot of us have been disconnected for the whole lifetime we've been here. It takes practice, and it's going to take falling down and getting back up. And I don't mean that literally, like when you're walking on water. I'm talking about these different situations where you ask yourself, are you fully surrendering? Are you fully allowing God in all day long to show you each and every step of the way, to lead you and guide you? Are you fully doing that? Are you fully allowing God to drive your vessel? And if you're not, that's okay, because it's a process that humanity is going through. We're walking each other home. Let me tell you what, man, like, God is like, I don't know if you guys can feel the energies. I don't know if you can tell, but God is speaking through me, man. God is working through me right now. These words that are coming through is of God. So your question is, if God is real and good, people go to heaven, just what is that we will be doing for billions and billions of years? Eternity, to be exact. Well, we'll get back to the point of being reconnected, and this planet will be a completely different place. It will be of balance. It will be harmony. It will be love. It will be unity. It will be oneness. It's going to be a whole different ball game, years to come, that we're all setting the stage for. We're going through the lessons and the learnings and the teachings of Jesus and God in the real way, though, not the false ways that they've wanted us to know and the false ways that they wanted us to do, because those false ways have separated us further and further. And they don't want us to know this. They don't want this to be the case. They don't want you to reconnect. Imagine everybody walking around, man, connected to God, letting God work through them. Imagine what this planet would be like. Imagine what this planet would be like if we all allowed God to use our vessel to work through us. And why do you think there's junk all around us, things being sprayed? I'm saying it in these words because of YouTube, okay? So just know that. Why things are, there's chemicals and everything, all this stuff, because it's blocking us from that connection to source. The fluoride, the things happening in the skies, all this stuff is blocking us from that connection. The distractions that are in front of us. No, it would not be unbalanced, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. It doesn't mean you're not going to still have challenges at that level, of course. But that connection, that's what we're all going back to. We're walking each other home. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate you, man, a lot. Thank you, brother. Grand rising to you, Drea. It definitely would be far from unbalanced. And when you're speaking from like when you walk around, right? Do you say, how would God see this? How would God view this? What would God do? You know, it's like that's the way you got to think. That's the way you got to move. You know, that's the way you got to move. How would God see this? How would God view this? Matthew, Krishna never said he was a Hindu. Jesus never said he was a Christian. No words can express what he can't understand. Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, when I tell you exactly that, they made him, they put this whole religious connotation around him, purposefully done. I mean, well done on their part, right? But like I said earlier, Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, was an aspect of God and came here undercover to shift the collective, to open humanity's hearts, to assist humanity. You know, that was what he came here to do. He didn't come here for everyone to make him this idol and the savior. Yeah, he did come to save 1000%. I would say that, but to empower you, to teach you how to do it for yourself, because you're just as powerful. The thing of it is like I've said before, we've all been disconnected. We've all been disconnected from source, which if we literally came down like Jesus came down, connected to God, connected to source, this place would be a whole different ballgame. And that's what the dark is fearing right now, because people are waking up to realize this, and there's more people speaking on it. And I encourage every single one of you, man, to be your authentic self and step out and speak your truth, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody, speaks upon you. None of it bothers me anymore. People come in and they say hurtful things and they say things. Yeah, words can cut deep, but they don't for me, because I have a shield. God's protecting me. I'm being led and guided every step of the way, and I know it. And the last few years, I would even say the last 10 years, I've fallen and got back up and fallen and got back up, and continuing to somehow, some way reconnect to God, to believe, to trust. And I will tell you this, man, the life that I've chosen has been really challenging and really difficult. And I didn't choose the life of, oh, well, I know how this is going to turn out. I'm going to work at this job and I'm going to collect this paycheck and I'm going to find this relationship and it's going to all be, I'm going to have this white picket fence and the kids and all this stuff. Like, I chose the complete opposite. I chose to walk the path less traveled, quite literally. And nothing about my life has been known. Everything is completely unknown. Like a lot of people, they know that they're going to go to this job. They know that they're going to work these amount of hours. They know that they're going to get this paycheck. I've chosen the complete opposite. And it has not been easy. And it has been challenging. And more I'm understanding now why with age comes, like the one gentleman said, age comes wisdom. It sure does. Because the more I am here on this earth, the more wisdom I receive, the more understanding I have, the more clarity that unfolds. Yet, that's what my ego wants. He never had any son. Stop. The put intermediaries or men in between you and source. Yeah, exactly, Truth Wave. Exactly. They so that we don't go straight to God, that we go to like the doctor or we go to our family member or a friend. It's 11:11. We got 11 people in here and 11 likes. Tap that like button and subscribe to the channel, you all, and make sure to go over to Truth Wave's channel and subscribe. He does meditations twice a day, 7 days a week. Go over to his channel. He's an amazing dude, a brother from another mother. You definitely will fall in love with Victor from Truth Wave. Get over to his channel, subscribe, like, comment, and join his meditations twice daily. We he spoke the gospel, brother. It's not a religion, facts. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Tricky Ricky. That's what I'm trying to say. But everyone that, like, I know for me, the way I've been programmed and conditioned, it's taken me a lot to where I actually speak about Jesus just because of the way that I was raised, and I mean, from a young child, I was anti-religion and anti-government and anarchist and all of those things. And I walked away from God because I expected everything a certain way. And that was just my ego. And now looking back, I realized that it was all ego based. It was all ego ran. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the way we're moving to heaven on earth. And only the strong will survive, man. And that's not a fear tactic. That's just what is happening. And we're being prepped and prepared. And a lot of us are stepping up and we're hearing the call that we need to share from this space, that we need to start being our authentic selves. And no matter what people say, and we're going to have gaslighting, we're going to have all these different things, especially with the topic of Jesus and Yeshua, especially with the topic of God. Because so many people are programmed and so many people believe what they believe. And that's okay. But I'm here to shake things up. And Luna's here to shake things up. And this channel is here to shake things up. And if you're here, we're all here to shake things up. And it is going to be, in fact, heaven on earth, because that's where we're headed, y'all. Heaven on earth. And that's what Yeshua did, essentially. He, as I said, he came here to shake things up. He was an aspect of God, undercover to shake things up. Oh, you too, Truth Wave. Love you, brother. Take care, man. Everybody go over and watch his meditation, man. Join it. It's powerful. Take care, Cram. Also understand that while you're alive, you will remain a... Well, I wouldn't say that. I don't like using the word sinner, man. I think that as we begin to cleanse our vessels more and more and become a clearer channel, I believe that, and we allow God to work through us, you're going to let go of more and more of those things. The addictions, the addiction to food, and I can go on, drugs, alcohol, pornography, everything. You begin to shed all of it. Doom scrolling on social media. All these things are not of God. And we are having to shed and let go of all of it. I can tell you right now, God has had me on this path of fasting for years now. And food just does not do it for me anymore like it used to. I mean, I used to be in pure ecstasy when I would eat a piece of chocolate. And it doesn't do it for me anymore. I'm just like, okay. And I have to keep being very mindful as to what I'm putting in my body and my vessel, because it's my temple. And if I want God to lead me and guide me and work through me, then I have to be sure to have a clean vessel for him to do so. And yes, I've been tested, massively tested. And yes, this is me following the energy, me following, being led and guided every step of the way. Well, that's the whole thing with free will, man, and choice. And you have the choice not to allow God in and not to allow God to use your vessel. You have that choice. And I feel very strongly that that's the ego always, because the main thing that stands in the way is the mind and the ego of fully surrendering, fully surrendering. And because, again, as I said earlier, the ego wants to know everything. It wants the roadmap. Like I told Luna a million times, I said, Luna, I just want a roadmap. I just want to understand what's next. And the more I try to do that, the more that's me putting myself, my ego in control, which then separates me from God. And the more I try to manipulate my environment, the people around me, and my outcomes, and try to figure out what's going to unfold, the more I'm separating myself from God. God doesn't work that way, man. God works in mysterious ways. God leads you in every step of the way without you understanding how and in what way it will happen. And when we let that go, we're fully surrendering and being obedient, which is what I've had to do. Like I said, man, I can tell you right now, what me and Luna when I met Luna a couple years ago, the surrendering I had to do, but make no mistake about it, it started way before that, but even more amplified. But I would venture to say, like the last 10 years, I've had to surrender to everything, man. And every corner, every turn, like, yeah, I whined, and I complained, and I was frustrated, and I kicked and screamed. And then God said, okay, time to surrender even more, and surrender even more. And then more was taken from me. And then I had to surrender even more. And this is part of like learning and evolving as humans, the advanced humans that we're becoming, which is with that full connection straight to God. Learning that no matter what we experience, no matter what we go through, if we trust God, if we trust the process, if we trust what is unfolding, and people don't want to hear that, believe me, because I always try to come from this higher perspective and be like, yeah, but just trust, man. You just got to trust. You just have to trust the freaking process, all right? And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because we can't have expectations of how it's going to look, how it's going to happen, how it's going to unfold. We just have to trust. And it's hard as effing, it's effing hard. And I know all of you can relate. I know you guys are commenting like crazy, and I'm so in the zone, man. It's just like, I apologize. God's just working through me right now, man. It's like I'm feeling like all I feel is pure love, like inside of me, around me. It's funny and interesting because before I came on this live, I invited God inside me in my vessel, and I channeled a message, like a pretty long message from the Divine Council of Nine earlier. And like, I knew that I said, God, just lead me, man. Just lead me. Speak the words that you want me to say, that people need to hear, that humanity is ready for. Do you think that's taken a lot of karma to go through to drop the resistance to these things? Yeah, I do. I think that's part of it. But it's also the way we've been programmed and conditioned, that the ego needs to be in control. And I kid you not, man, they just showed me, like, when I had different challenges physically many, many years ago, and my ego wanted the answers and wanted to understand and couldn't understand. And you know what? I remember at those moments, in those times, I was most disconnected from God, from source. And I was like trying to get answers from people outside of me. And that's what I'm trying to explain in this live, that we're not going to be able to do that anymore. We have to go within. We have to go straight to God. That's where we get the answers. That's where we get led. That's where we get guided. Not from you, not from me, not from this message. Yes, God uses other people like me to bring you a message, to remind you to go within, to get that answer. And I'm here to assist you in remembering who you are, why you're here, and what you came here to do, as well as Luna. That's what we came here to do. I know I'm here to make massive waves, to disrupt, to get people questioning. And yes, I understand that it comes with a lot of trolling. A lot of people are going to fight against what I have to say and what God brings through. But I know that that's what I'm here to do. And I know that that's what the last 47 years, let's just say that, but like 10 years, I've been being groomed and prepared for this, because I know that what I speak is truth, that God is bringing this through for a reason. And I could tell you I had the most massive shift between yesterday and today, knowing full well why I'm here. And that it's not going to be an easy road. And I know that. And a lot of things that I'm going to share and put out there are going to spark people to get triggered. And that's okay. And I know I'm protected. I know I'm being guided. I know that there's a shield over me. But I know that I'm a big time disruptor. And I know that it's going to cause a lot of controversy. And I know that as we grow and become bigger and more people know who we are, and find us, there's going to be a lot of controversy, a lot of it's going to test people's beliefs really strongly. Again, that's okay. And I know that as long as I keep God first, I will be safe. I will be guided. I will be protected. I will be led and guided every step of the way. And the more and more I know God is guiding me and protecting me, but that's the whole thing that we have to learn, is allowing the mind, not trying to control the mind, but allowing the mind to just do its thing and observing it, and not attaching or saying that, no, I got to stop the mind from having thoughts. I can't have thoughts. Like the mind, like I heard someone say, the mind is like a computer. You just observe it. Okay, the computer is going to do what it's going to do. Like the moment we try to control it and stop it, that's when it gets louder. We just have to like allow it to do its thing. That's when we can bring God in. That's when we can allow God to work through us. You can't kill the thoughts, man. But you can certainly just observe it and allow it to like go, like sail down the river, you know? Oh, cool, man. Well, good for you. We have a vegan in the house. Another vegan, Kia. Welcome. Good for you. Whether you are or you aren't, it's all good, man. I don't know what Jim's question was, but I'm assuming it probably wasn't for anybody's highest and greatest good. That's for sure. Believe evolves into faith. Faith evolves into knowing. Amen. Amen, brother. Tricky Ricky. Amen, brother. Welcome to the fam, man. I recognize your name too. I think you've been around here for a while. I just haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, man, we're here to, like Luna said, but starting to realize, how would God see this? How would God move in this way? And allowing God to lead you. Again, as I said, man, the ego wants the roadmap. The ego wants answers. God doesn't. And when we can fully surrender, man, that's when the magic happens, man. And I know I've been being prepped for this advanced human like that we're all going into and stepping into, just in the things I've gone through and the things I've had to endure, pretty much shedding and letting go of everything. Like literally, quite literally, like everything has gone, like I don't even have words, the more I think about it, it's like, holy crap, man, like everything, like I let go of everything from when I was a little kid leading up throughout my 20s and 30s and 40s. And it's like, I literally am grateful to walk this journey with Luna now. I've walked this journey alone, yet with God, but not realizing God was actually there, and now I'm actually realizing God is with me and holding my hand every step of the way. And that the first thing that I do is go straight to God. No one else. It's God. 1000% Flash. We're on other planets while we're on this planet. We're multidimensional beings, of course, 1000%. There's hundreds of universes, thousands, billions of planets out there. Yes, 1000 millionth percent. There's planets that are way behind our evolution where we're at, and there's ones way ahead of us. And then there's ones that are in the same spot as we are. There's planets with higher dimensional beings on it, which you would call extraterrestrials. There's like, if you could think of it, it's real. Just know that. What's good, Wes? Send you a lot of love. It's hard for me to see it now because the sun got really, really bright. I'm going to end the live pretty soon anyway. Only kind of. Okay. Well, you can eat whatever you like, my friend. My day is fantastic, especially after welcome, come in, everybody. Don't forget to double tap the screen, share out the live, and comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Thank you, Legendary. Appreciate you, man. And everybody go subscribe to her channel. I hope everybody has a great and wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Jesus is God and loves you, brother. Jaden, I was just saying that, man. I said that earlier. And as I said, a lot of people will not be able to understand this, but Yeshua, Jesus, he came here as God in human form, an aspect of God in human form, undercover, to open humanity's hearts, to shift the collective, to create massive change. I probably have walked 500 miles, probably walked way more than that in my life. Chase, yeah, are you good? Because I'm good. Are you good? Because I'm good. Yeah. Oh, really? No, well, it happens, It happens, Sav. Thank you. I appreciate that, man, Jaden. Sav, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. That's when you encounter the Holy Spirit, you understand, but you get a new heart too. Interesting. Jagoozy. So yeah, thank you everybody, man. This was like a really 1:11 on the clock. Look at that, man. I'm about to end it at 1:11. Interesting. Every time it now seems like 111 is the time to stop the live. But I love you all, man, and please tap that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. There's going to be a lot more teachings on this topic, a lot more. So get prepared, because it's time that humanity wakes up and realizes the truth of who they are, and realizes what's been going on, and realize that the only one that we need to come home to is God, straight to God. Ask God. And man, you're going to see your world transform. You're going to see the changes happen, not only within yourself, but within and around the planet. And I know, like, I've been being groomed by Yeshua and Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and as well as Luna, and I've been in training. I know it. I know it more than ever with the things that I've had to experience and the things I've experienced. I've been in training, and Yeshua has been preparing me, and I'm excited for what's next and what's to come and what's unfolding. And I trust the process, and I trust what's unfolding. And man, I tell you what, man, again, it doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It doesn't mean you don't have emotions. It doesn't mean you don't feel, anxious or scared or happy or joy or all these different emotions that we are here to experience, just because you find that connection back to God. But things begin to change in such a amazing way. And, every single day I now look back and I reflect and I see how and why I've gone through what I've gone through, and the things that have happened and occurred, and how things have unfolded. And my dad just kept saying, man, before he passed, you have to believe, Daren, you have to believe. That was what he kept on reiterating over and over and over again. And I didn't fully understand it at the time, because I didn't fully understand how to believe and how to put my trust in God and how to fully open up and surrender. But yet I've had to go through so many things in my life that required me to surrender, like fully surrender. And yeah, I'm just seeing visuals that they're showing me, like, being like this and being held back from trying to control or manipulate or change something to make it an outcome that I want it to be, when that's not the way God works. And it's like, you just never know how God is going to work his magic through you. So with that being said, I love you all, man, from the bottom of our heart. Happy Friday. I hope that this video, this message today found you exactly where you need to be and where you are on your journey. There was a lot of codes and activations in this live that God was bringing through to support you on your journey. And so if you feel called to go back and listen, I would definitely highly recommend it, because there is a lot of codes, a lot of activations. And when you listen to this over and over again, you're going to receive so much more information every time you listen. And it's going to give you a deeper understanding and help you to reconnect back to God, to reconnect that cord back to God, so that you can, in fact, be led and guided every step of the way. As we go forward, we're becoming these advanced humans that are going to fully be connected, just like Yeshua was. And it's going to be a whole different world going forward, man, because the ego must step aside. And let me tell you what, man, I've had a lot of ego deaths. I've had a lot of times where the ego was like kicking and screaming and frustrated and angry and pissed off and not wanting to step aside and refusing to. And that's why I've gone through what I've gone through over and over again, to humble my ego, so to speak. But anyways, I love you all, man. Again, thank you again, man, and stay strong, because the amazingness is coming. And I'm telling you, man, things are unfolding so beautifully and everything is perfectly perfect. We just have to allow it. We have to let go and we have to surrender and trust the process and trust what's unfolding. I love you all, man. Keep God first. Trust, man. And come into your heart. Focus on your heart. Focus on your breath. And trust God, man. He has a plan. And it's all unfolding perfectly. I love you all, man. Keep God first. Trust. Surrender. I love you. I will see you in the next live, in the next video, or somewhere around the world. Until then, let's go!